This week on a podcast from beneath, it's our second installment of Found Footage February with 2013's Afflicted. Eric.
Oh, sorry, I was thinking about RoboCop music. Hey,
Oh, okay. Billy.
How's it going?
This was your pick, Billy, so go ahead and tell everybody what this movie was about.
Alright, so these two friends are best friends. We've known each other since they were, I guess, junior high. They used to make movies when they were younger and everything, and they're always together filming, them doing stupid stuff. Well, one of the friends, named Derek Lee, wants to go travel all around the world for a year with his best friend, filming it and turn it to a travel blog. Well, Derek also has this problem. He has like an aneurysm or something. It causes him headaches, and it could burst at any moment. And people, his other friends, his family doesn't want him to go, but he's gonna take this trip. Well, the trip wasn't what they expected. Some crazy, unexpected shit happens.
turns out Derek was pregnant all along.
Yeah.
Yeah.
His name wasn't really Derek. Derek wasn't even alive. He died 5 years ago.
Oh my god.
So Eric, what do you think about this one? And let's try not to compare it to our last film.
Oh man, the
It's influenced
comparisons
by
are
it.
pretty
Yeah,
stark. Yeah, this is a damn masterpiece.
Yeah.
Compared to them,
No, but yeah. What do you think about it?
I liked it. I thought it was just a good movie. It's you can definitely tell it's a student picture, but I think they made the best of it. From what they had, their ideas and everything. I thought it was just a solid movie.
I also enjoyed it.
Well, yeah, to retract a little bit. Not to say it's perfect. It's not.
Yeah, it's not perfect.
There's some issues, but they can be forgiven. They're not like movie breaking or anything. I'm nitpicking at that
It
point.
doesn't outshadow how good, like the good parts. You know what I mean?
I think
Here and there.
yeah, I was gonna say I think it would have worked better as a short film.
Yeah, it's a little long, but we were kind of discussing this beforehand. I think the movie's a little lopsided. It's a little too heavy on the front end than it is towards the end of the movie. Like what we want to see. I think the lead up didn't make any sense, and this is the part that I didn't want to say until the cast is that like Bill said, this movie starts out as like a little innocent kind of vlog movie about this gentleman who has like something wrong with his blood vessels in his brain. He doesn't have a long time left, so he just wants to tour the world and have a good time while he still can with his buddy Cliff. So, like, this whole almost half of the movie is that until we get to like the little twist in the middle, which we'll talk about here in a bit. It would have worked better if the movie was not marketed as a horror movie.
Yeah, and I think it would have worked better if we didn't have if the movie just would have started with them starting their trip, right? But we get this, they're having a going away party, and then we have like this reality show section of, I guess their vlog that they're putting online, but it seemed like it was just like too much information there at the beginning. Really slowed it down a little bit.
Well, I mean I forgive that if you want to call it that, like as if it were a sin. It's really not. I think it would be fine, but all the advertisements for the movie, even the poster, kind of tell you where it's going. If it weren't for that, it wouldn't have seemed that long. You know what I'm saying? Like you wouldn't have expected. The twist would have hit you a lot harder, and the rest of the movie would have been so much more bombastic because of it. But since we kind of know what's kind of creeping up, not exactly. I thought it was going somewhere else, to be honest. So I'll give it props for that. But it's almost like you're waiting.
Yeah. I saw this. I saw trailers for it, and then I saw this actually in somewhere in Michigan. 2014, saw this in the theater, and I didn't. expect it to turn out the way it did. I was like, holy shit, this is awesome.
Yeah, I didn't watch any trailers, so I was, to be honest with you, I was expecting a zombie film.
That's what I was thinking too.
Yeah.
I was on that avenue.
Yeah, so I guess just to kind of move along here, they're basically traveling around. They they go to Rome. They meet some of their friends who are in a band, and I guess they're trying to get our main character, Derek. They're trying to get him laid.
Yeah, they go to Barcelona.
Yeah.
No, it's in Paris. No, it's in France when he meets up with that girl, right? You're talking about before.
Oh, wait a minute. Hang on.
Yeah, there's a bunch of stuff at the beginning, like the skydiving and.
Yeah, they meet up with their friends. They're like touring. They're a band.
Yeah.
And then they go to they travel with them for a little bit, and then I think the last stop that they were going to go together was Paris.
Yeah, that's right. They met. So that's where. Okay.
Yeah, they met some friends in Barcelona.
I was right. Yeah, they met them in Barcelona, but then they toured with the band a little bit, and they wound up in Paris.
Right. So Derek ends up meeting this girl. He's talking to her.
Almost cock blocked him real bad.
If they hadn't, it would have been a lot worse.
Yeah. I like how he's like, "Hey, dude, what are you doing? Get out of here!"
Yeah. So they so on the last night of the last performance in Paris, they have this really big show. The buddies are trying to get Derek laid because he's sick. They just want him to have a good time. His last little trip around the world. So he finally hooks up with this one girl. Her name's Audrey, turns out, and they let him go back to their little hotel or whatever as they still party along. But they don't let him. They don't leave him alone or anything. Just at the last minute, they're like, "Hey, let's just go barge in while they're doing it because LOL."
It's what the friends do. They cock block each other.
Yeah. But little did they know, they kind of saved the day because when they broke down the door and turned on the lights real fast, they find Derek beating his shitting back, bleeding all over the place in the bed by himself, which almost looks like a robbery, but nothing's taken or anything, so they don't know what's happening.
And then he doesn't even go to the hospital.
Which was weird because he had did he have stitches in his?
Yeah, they might have had their own kid in case something like that happened, probably.
Yeah, I was thinking about that. He doesn't want to go to the hospital because during this whole movie he does have that condition, and he's worried that his condition will get in the way of just the trip. So he just wants this to experience it without any kind of problem. So he doesn't go because of that. But he does have that little stitch kind of bandage thing on his eyebrow afterwards. He'd have to go to a clinic at least, right?
Yeah, well, I couldn't tell if it was stitches or if it was just those little butterfly band-aids that
I don't know.
Don't line up. I don't know. I was just trying to figure out what was the motive of and I guess you're right. Him having a pre-existing condition would be the motivation factor of not going to the hospital.
Yeah, it made him super stubborn because he didn't want to be, he didn't want to be the rain on the parade, I guess.
Oh, before we continue, this movie was only cost $318,000.
Only.
Yeah.
I mean, the movie looks good. It's shot well.
Oh,
it's a very competent picture. Yeah.
This for a found footage, it had way less shaky cam.
Oh, thank God.
It's very true.
But there's another part I'll talk about later when we get to it. But yeah, as far as the look of the film, it looked spectacular. But like I said, less shaky cam than what you're used to in your normal found footage film.
So I kind of giggled a little bit because one of the hurdles or excuses movies like these have to solve is why keep the camera rolling? Yeah, so this one it's pretty good. They're a couple guys are just filming their trip. Things do get worse. We'll talk about that. So they keep the camera rolling because they post these little snippets onto their little travel website thing, and they're getting all this feedback from their friends and family too. So that's how information is delivered to us. So I thought that worked. What made me laugh was their excuse to have multiple cameras.
Oh.
So not only do they have a handheld DSLR, but they also have almost like a snorri cam setup where a guy has a camera stuck to his chest the whole time.
Yeah, well, I mean that was a good setup for what comes later.
Yeah.
But before we get to that part of it, so I guess the next day after the is beating or whatever,
Yeah, they get out of town. So I actually took a bunch of notes because I kind of enjoy this movie. So day
Yeah,
10,
they saw their
they
friends
get
off at the train.
yeah,
Then they left
they go
early.
to Las they go to Italy.
Yeah, and that's when they go to a hotel and they go. No, they eat. They go to eat because they're hungry, right? No, Derek sleeps. They go to the hotel. Derek sleeps. Who knows how long? I'm gonna say a couple days.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
then
so
yeah, okay.
oh good. I was just like Cliff wakes them up. They're like, "Come on, we got to eat something." So they go to
Yeah.
like a nice restaurant on the shore side. It's beautiful. I mean, even their handheld cams, it looked really nice. So it was
Yeah.
definitely shot on location.
Oh yeah, it was shot like what did it say? Pretty sure it said.
they filmed it in Barcelona, Paris, Italy, and Vancouver.
So
Oh, that's right. They were Canadian. Damn it.
he eats this like spaghetti. It's probably the bomb, and ends up puking everywhere.
It's a lot.
Yeah, it's
Like
great. And he runs out.
like it's almost as much as like a dude from Team America threw up in the alleyway.
Yeah,
Like, it's a lot.
yeah, it was a lot.
And I actually want to point that scene out because this movie did better than this is the best that they could do with what they had. There was a lot of really not trickery, but very well executed things. Like that's clearly like a pipe run up his like shirt or whatever, like puking up all that stuff.
yeah.
But the way it's shot and the way it's angled, there's always movement. So even him, like he tried to get up, he slips on it like a goof, and he gets away. But it's just very well done, very well thought out.
This is their only movie they've done so far, I think. It's a shame. Yeah,
It's a shame.
I mean that was good.
Well, I know, but
yeah.
movies are expensive. Like they had $300,000 to make this movie. It turned out really good. But who knows how long it took to make that money?
Yeah.
Well, it only grossed 121
Oof.
Yeah.
in U.S.
They didn't really market. I think it was only got to like limited theaters.
Mm.
Yeah, I never heard of it until you mentioned it for this.
Yeah.
For the found footage thing, but
Yeah,
Same.
but so he pukes up the thing. He leaves. They go back to the house, and he's like, "Derek, are you okay?" Blah 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 blah. And he's like, "No, we're not going to leave." And does he try to eat more food? And he just can't.
Not until a little bit later because he gets
this
frustrated
point.
with himself.
Yeah.
But I know what you're talking about. I think after that they do slink back to the hotel and they're just kind of like, we don't know what's happening. This is obviously serious, but we can't do anything because Derek's being stubborn. So
Yeah. And then the next day, they visit.
a winery.
Yeah. And like they're all walking. Derek's kind of like walking ahead of them. And Cliff is like talking to that guy, I think. And he's like kind of filming his his pet pig, whatever. And then Derek just runs up and what does he say? Give me what?
Oh, we need to get off the mountain.
Oh, we need to go off the mountain now. And he's like burning.
Yeah, he turns really red.
Yeah, his skin starts peeling and he's like running. And I thought that was really well executed. It's pretty I thought the effects for his like skin splitting was awesome.
Oh, that was kind of brushed upon in that scene, but later on they show him kind of like testing the water. He sticks his hand out the window on a sunny day.
Yeah.
You see the skin like pulling apart and boiling. That was really cool. That was very well done.
But you only get to see the like after effects of it. You see his like face peeling. Or no, that's before. Never mind.
No, it shows it here because he
Okay.
tells him. Cliff comes running in there and he's like, tells him he needs water.
Oh,
And he
that's
puts
right.
his
He's like, yeah,
hands and then
water,
he,
yeah.
ducks his whole head in the bucket, and when he raises up, you can see like his skin's all patchy and peeling off.
Yeah, like a really shitty sunburn.
then they go back. They go back to the hotel. I think at this point, that's when they're. I think it's when he tries to eat again.
No, yeah, they get back to the hotel, but Derek's is obviously like pissed off because he thinks it's still part of his little pre-existing condition.
Yeah.
So he's like, you got to go to the hospital, And he gets mad, he like punches through a wall out of anger. Knocks a big chunk out of like a little divider.
Right. Yeah, I was thinking that happened right after he tried to eat again. Yeah, he like picks up the like chunks of concrete and he's able to like break them apart.
He's like,
with
this
his
is
hand.
marble. And he's like, break it. He keeps on giving him like bigger pieces.
Yeah, then they did like the most dude bro thing ever. Like when you find out your buddy's got superpowers, it's just like, hey, they go out to the beach with these big stones and start breaking shit.
Yeah.
Karate chops a big block in half.
And then right there he started having like stomach aches.
I don't know. I'm thinking that. After that is whenever it kind of cuts to like, I guess Cliff is asleep, and when he wakes up, like Derek's just right there beside the bed.
Oh yeah, he's
He's
like freaking out, or not freaking out. He's like, his eyes are like reddish. You can see his veins or something all over his body.
No, there's a little bit in between. No, it's on its way. After they break the stone thing, he tries to pick up a car. He does.
Oh yeah.
And then like the alarm goes off, and he takes off because.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
And it turns out he can run up to like 40 miles an hour, so he jets out of there. And during that night or whatever, they're still trying to get back to the hotel. He starts to feel ill again, and he thinks there's something in his eye, and he like tries to pull it out because he wears contacts. So he tries to pull it out, but he winds up pulling his whole eye out, like the whole like front of it.
Yeah.
And he like winds up doing it for both, and it turns out like he's got like super like almost like a camera aperture kind of eye.
That scene made me squirm, dude. Anything has to do with an eye, I'm like, oh fuck.
Oh, like that little door scene from Zombie.
Oh man.
Squeak.
Brutal.
So then, like that night, he tries to eat like a bunch of stuff, and it doesn't stay down.
Yeah, and then Cliff. Oh no, yeah, because he's trying to. Yeah, it's like a bunch of like canned food or whatever.
Yeah, just whatever they had. He just wanted to try it. Just
he pukes it back up, and I think is this when they finally decide, hey, you should probably go to the hospital.
Well, he comes into his room the next morning because that was obviously that night. He's not in bed. He's on the fucking ceiling.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
He's doing that like hold yourself up in the corner.
Yeah.
He's like, dude, check this out. And then then they go out again.
Yeah, they start doing some more tests or whatever, and that's when he's like he can jump around and whatnot.
He was like, he like jumps up this building. He's like, if I make it over here, we won't go. I'm not going to go to the hospital. So he makes it. Yeah.
I thought he was going to like jump across the buildings, but
yeah, I thought
he jumped pretty far.
Yeah.
And then I guess literally as soon as that happened, he started having like stomach aches. And did he like run or?
Yeah, he's trying to like. That's when they finally decided to go to like a little clinic or whatever. But on their way there, they cross the street and they almost get hit by a car.
And that's when the people who were in the car were about to.
Yeah, about to whip some ass.
Yeah, they started freaking out. Derek was not having it.
Yeah, like
he punches that one guy. He punches him.
Yeah, like they both jump out of the car because like they avoid hitting them, so they swerved off the road, ran into the little sidewalk thing. So they both jump out of the car, obviously pissed. They have like Cliff pinned up against the wall. You don't see Derek off to his side, but like he punches him. I think he punched like a hole through him because he punches him so hard. There's like a big bloody spot on his gut, and he hits the car so hard that he's like in the door.
Yeah.
So.
And then Derek punches the other guy, or throws him or something.
Yeah, he throws him. He flies over the top of the car.
And that's when is that when he like licked his? Yeah, he licked his hand.
Mm-hmm.
It had blood on it.
Yeah, super quickly, like when Cliff was just trying to make sense of the situation, you see Derek in the background with the bloody hand that he punched the guy with, and like he just like licks it like a cat. Meow.
Meow. And everybody everybody's comments on the blog is like, did you just lick your hand? Ooh, what the fuck, Derek?
Yeah,
Yeah, this is when
Cliff,
go ahead.
like, I guess, sees all the comments and goes back and watches, I guess, the recording and sees that that's what he does. And then so that's when they decide you are a vampire.
Dun dun dun.
And their first attempt to get blood was at a blood bank, right?
No, I think Cliff got
No.
something from a
Yeah.
butcher.
Yeah, he went to a butcher because
Oh, that's right.
that's when he was like reading stuff out of like the wiki page of what they could or couldn't do.
So Derek drinks it and ends up puking it, or like runs to the bathroom, ends up puking it all in the toilet. He's like, it's got to be fresh.
Yeah.
So then, go ahead.
Oh no, I was just gonna say like he didn't want to kill anybody, so they like start walking around town like a bunch of bums trying to like see what dog they can pick up off the street or whatever.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, they decided not to. That guy's like, come on, dude, he's got an owner or something.
So they go back to the dude that owned the winery's place and they take his pig.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Derek like brutally kills it, and then drinks its blood and then like puking it back up. I bet you he felt like a dick. Unnecessary killing of a poor innocent pig.
That's for science. What are you gonna do?
Yeah. So then that's when they end up going. That's when he ends up trying to go to the hospital to get fresh blood.
Yeah, he tries to rob a blood bank.
Yeah.
But he freaks out because, at blood banks you do have to show your identification to get entry. So it didn't work. He freaked out. He left. And as they were going down the street,
he like knocked the entire front door off the building.
he must have went for it. He must have tried to like hop the counter or something.
Yeah. And then he stops an ambulance.
Yeah,
and
that's also the first time we see him as almost a feral being, because that's when he like goes into like search mode and he like gets into the ambulance.
He's like, "Come on, Cliff, we gotta go." Yeah.
And then Cliff gets in. They start driving away, and that's when he realizes there's another paramedic in the back working on a patient.
Did he kill that driver, or did he just like throw him out?
I don't know. I'm
gonna
say
no, she lived. No, she lived. They didn't fuck with her.
No, not the lady in the back.
The driver.
He threw him against a dumpster so hard, I'm assuming it killed him.
I was gonna say he got off easy if he just kind of like left the ambulance.
He just broke his back.
Yeah, so he's asking her for blood, but of course he's not speaking the native language. She can't understand him.
Yeah, she's all like, no hablo, and he's like, blood, please, blood.
And so they just end up bailing.
Well, he sees that because she's got her hands on the patient's chest, and she's all covered in blood. I think he's getting ready to go after her, and that's when Cliff, I guess, like pulls him back, and they leave the ambulance.
He slams the brakes and gets him out of there.
And then they go back to the hotel. They decide to sleep. Cliff wakes up. And Derek is staring right at him.
Yeah, it was a pretty creepy scene there.
Derek's all passed out. He's just like, I don't think he notices me until I get close because I think he can smell the blood.
Yeah, he puts.
That was pretty.
Yeah, putting his hand over moving his hand back and forth over his face.
Mm-hmm. But he winds up escaping. He leaves in the middle of the night, and Cliff goes after him.
Before that, wasn't Cliff going to Cliff opened his hand up to feed him?
Oh yeah, he figured hey, I'll throw him a bone, and he cut his wrist, which I feel like that was a bad idea.
Yeah.
He ends up cutting his wrist, but not the he was doing the not the up down, but the back and forth motion.
Yeah, he went across the street, not down the road for those listening. So
he was doing the I'm just looking for attention cut.
Yeah. But he gets a good bit of it, goes to give it to Derek. Derek, windows open, Derek is gone. And so
he goes after him.
Yeah, he goes after him. He walks pretty far and goes back to that winery.
Did he go that far? I thought it was just like some random place.
I thought it was the farmer or the R.
It was
The miner.
nighttime. Like the only light source was from the camera, so I didn't pick up anything familiar.
They went to like this garage or barn area, and then that's when he finds Derek, and then Derek ends up attacking and killing Cliff. And it shows him like I think he broke his jaw.
He broke his jaw.
He one good punch broke his jaw, and then he was out, and he started like getting his blood, and then he started coming around because he started screaming no, but it was still like
Yeah.
it's like part him and part just I want your blood animal.
This part shouldn't have made me laugh, but I did. I even wrote it in my notes. I said, Derek attacks Cliff, then vlogs about it. Lol. Because that's exactly what he does.
Yeah.
Like he kills his best friend, and
Yeah,
then
I
he
was
just
wondering-
goes
was
on
wondering-
camera.
If he were like, if he wasn't going to post that, why did he record it? You know what I'm saying? Like that, you almost lose that idea of why are they still recording, unless he's still posting. You know, oh yeah, I'm going to post a video of me killing my best friend.
Well, that's what he said. Like he like apologized and stuff.
Yeah, because I don't know why
Like, quickly.
Cliff had the thing on.
Well, because it was still strapped to his chest, I'm sure.
Yeah,
He brought the camera into his room to check up on him, so he could, I'm sure, post it later.
Was it his only like use of like because it's real dark? Was that the only source of light he had? Was that camera or
Yeah.
anything?
Well, I mean, I'm sure, like for movie making standards, they had some kind of like secondary light, maybe some, like a
Yeah.
little what do you call them? Not a reflector, but it disperses the light. You know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Whatever. It's on the tip of my tongue. But anyways, like yeah, he goes on camera. He's like, oh, I'm sorry. The real question is where the fuck did he get that shotgun?
yeah, no.
Like, so Derek realizes what he did, realizes what he is. Anyhow, yeah, he has to get the shotgun out of nowhere. He apologizes and he blows his brains out. Then another twist is he doesn't die.
Well, I would say that was a really good effect they done on the
Back of the head.
when he blows
Yeah.
his brains out.
Yeah.
They held on it for. Go ahead.
His head drops forward, and you can see like the skull split open. It looked really cool. Yeah, but yeah, like you said, they did hold on it for a while.
And I thought I was supposed to see something, like maybe like he could heal so fast, like that little hole in the back of his head was trying to re-heal or something. So I did kind of like peer in a little bit. So they almost got the jump scare on me. Almost.
Well, I'm gonna say it looked like I could see his skull starting to go back together a little bit, very slowly.
Yeah, I guess it didn't last long. Like it healed fast, but not as fast as I thought it would. He ends up showing the aftermath.
Yeah, like it's 4 days. So when he killed Derek, it was day 17, and his next entry was on the 21st.
I guess it took
Or
4 days
21st day of the trip.
Yeah, so it took that long for his skull, I guess, to
be in that shape.
fuse back together.
I mean, he had to have healed quickly, because he goes through some shit towards the end of this movie.
So he shows that, and then he gets a knock.
No, he's watching the first he's watching the older footage, and that's when he sees that
The
that's
girl.
when he sees that the girl had left her purse and her cell phone in the hotel room.
No,
Yeah.
that's a. Oh, was that before?
Yeah, it was right there.
Oh yeah.
So he's
Because,
like packing up because he's like, I'm going to go back to Paris.
Yeah,
Like,
that's when the
Aubrey.
that's when Interpol shows up.
Yeah, that's the knock at the door.
And he ends up pretty much jumping out the fucking window. Like, how many stories you think? Like 4 or 5?
Who knows?
No.
I want to say 3.
See through.
Because like he
ends up-
jumps, he leaps over a terrace. I don't know what was underneath that, but he lands shortly after. It's just like it's still a lot, but
Oh,
yeah.
it wasn't terrible.
He ends up just skin ends up just popping open. You can kind of hear him like just in pain when
You
he's
can
running,
hear
trying
him
to find.
sizzling every time he's running.
Yeah,
Yeah, and he's
you
also
can-
getting shot.
yeah, and it takes him a bit to get away from them.
Yeah, he tries to find like a couple shady spots, but they wind up catching up to him until he finally does this like weird little parkour thing, and he finds like this old cove.
Is staying there, and then finally, after that, after he like finds shelter away from the cops or whoever, then he's like, I'm in Paris. Right? No, he ends up sneaking on
No,
the.
he hops on a train
That's
after
right.
like he runs a little bit. At night he's like, oh, I'm somewhere outside of Nice, which is in Spain, and I guess from there he hops on a train. He finally makes it back to Paris, and that's the next night too,
Yeah.
or the next day or night, whatever.
So he
Yeah, I
ends up.
guess
Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say he goes to the hotel, and just so happens that her
So,
purse and cell phone were turned into the lost and found.
Which is very nice.
yeah, very convenient.
So he gets her
Then-
cell phone. He's
yeah.
looking through it. I guess he decides he's just gonna call. Well, of course he's also making video messages to her.
Yeah,
So I guess
he found a place to hide out.
So I'm assuming, or I guess he assumes that she watches the the vlogs. I don't know why he's leaving messages for her on the video.
I don't know. Maybe he's just angry. He just needs to vent.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he decides to just call and text every number that's in her phone just to see if anybody would show up.
Does. And his name is Maurice, I believe. He ends
Oh,
up
yeah,
like
he's a-
saying,
He's a weird sausage-looking dude.
yeah. He says like, meet me at this place or something, and then he ends up showing up. He's like, Aubrey.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, he
Derek's
does a really
just watching
smart-
him.
Yeah, Derek did a really smart thing. Like he let the guy show up first while he like looked or watches him from a bit away, so he can just see what turns up.
And he ends up following him till we get to ends up following him all the way to Maurice's
Actually, I think we
Place.
missed a little chunk. Just a little bit. After he gets to Paris, he does find the phone at the hotel, but on his way out, his brother's there.
Oh,
Forgot about that.
Yeah, but his brother shows up with the cops because they know where they're going to stay. They had this whole thing, their trip planned on the internet.
Oh, so he ends up like fleeing from the cop. He getting shot at though. He ends up like jumping.
He jumps a really big fence, climbs a building somehow, and there's like a sniper on the roof that he accidentally kills.
Yeah, he's trying to pull him back up.
Yeah, he ends up killing him on accident.
He says, "Take my strong hand."
Yeah, take my strong hand. Ends up dying, and then
Yeah, so
ends
that's
up-
so from there he finds like a little nook somewhere that has a little bit of running water and power.
And
And that's
soap.
where-
Look at a bar soap too. I don't know where that came from.
I don't know, headed up his ass. Who knows?
Yeah.
I knew a guy that kept the watch up there almost his entire life.
Yeah,
he
so
ends
then-
up. Yeah,
No,
that's what
he does the calls and the texting, and that's when what was the guy's name?
Maurice. I think
Maurice shows
Maurice ends up following him home. Ends up like tying him up. Gets in his house, ends up tying him up.
hmm
And he's like, after all this time, you're the first person she's ever turned. And he's like, you're wasting it. Or something like that.
But there's like a little subtlety in there that that wasn't exactly explained, but it turns out like he's her handler basically. You know how like it's kind of a classic thing how vampires have like a human almost like escort do all the business for them and stuff and get all their victims ready.
Yeah. And he ends up saying that he's been trying to get turned. But I guess it's not working.
And it just made me think of What We Do in the Shadows. That poor old dude they reached over Skype after all those years.
Yeah.
He was like 90 something. Please, I'm ready.
That's funny as hell, dude. But yeah, what? While he's interviewing him, still, you see a flashbang, and then the SWAT team appears in Maurice's
Yeah.
house.
It's a really cool scene, but I'm still curious to how they found him.
Yeah, like how did they?
Still the travel blog because it followed him.
Yeah, I
He
guess
had
he kept
recording.
posting stuff, but how they get the
Do
location?
you think it's alive?
No, I don't
Oh,
think it
wait a
was
minute.
live.
No, that was live. Remember? He did that live stream
Oh
when he
yeah.
had the guy taped to the chair. So, okay. Never mind.
Yeah, that makes
And that's
sense.
how they find out. That's when the SWAT team comes, and that's when like
They got swatted.
yeah, basically like I guess if you shoot, I get them or like they get hurt like enough, they'll end up turning to that feral like instinct, like just murder, death, kill. Because they keep on shooting him. I think Maurice is like warning them to stop, but they keep on shooting Derek, and he ends up just changing. They think he's dead. He ends up like just basically killing the whole SWAT people
Yeah,
in
and
some brutal ways.
Yeah, this is when the movie turns into Hardcore Harry.
Yeah.
Henry,
This-
and I love
Henry,
that movie.
Harry.
It's good. I don't care what anybody says.
I just wondered,
It made my stomach hurt.
did this one come out first?
No,
Yes.
Hardcore Henry did.
Are you sure?
Oh no, wait, this did.
It came out
sorry.
2013. That's quite a
Yeah.
while ago.
Yeah, because I know Hardcore Henry was a.
Is that found footage? Well, that'll be next week.
Oh God, no.
Yeah, but I mean, it's a really good action scene.
Oh, yeah. Especially when he like goes through the wall.
Oh
I
yeah,
thought
because
that-
that one SWAT member's like shooting,
Yeah.
and he just like busted the wall. But also, I was trying to figure out because I noticed he used when he gets to that last SWAT member, he slits his throat with a knife. I'm thinking, does he not have? Because there's not a lot of like vampire rules that they follow. But I just wondered maybe he didn't. Maybe he didn't have fangs.
No, I don't think he does. I think they drink the
Probably not
blood.
yet.
Yeah.
Well, I
But-
mean, it's probably neither here nor there. I guess we can assume that he just doesn't have his yet.
Yeah.
Right, well,
Because
yeah, but just-
he
but I
kind of
just
has like a
got, like-
discernible wound on his arm. That's how he got the infection or whatever. But it wasn't really a bite mark. It was like it almost looked like he got hit by a crowbar. To be honest, it was weird.
Well, because the Maurice guy, he had the same markings on him. That I
Mhm.
guess that's what. I guess maybe that's how Audrey fed from him.
Either that, like, or he was just like a living like pincushion. She just like to stab him or some shit.
But no, I was just wondering because I noticed. I mean, he has a reflection when he walks past that mirror, and I just wondered what other kind of rules were they trying. You know, what I'm saying that they didn't follow as far as the classic vampires.
I guess it's safe to assume that he hasn't been turned long enough to have his fangs. Maybe. I don't know.
We may never know.
Afflicted
Yeah.
harder. Da-na-na.
Afflicted harder.
Yeah. So he leaves this. Maurice's house, right? Or does he stay there? And that's when.
No, he ends up going back to trying to remember what happened after that. Aubrey gets it.
No.
Aubrey gets a hold of him.
Yeah, like he just like slinks back to his little cubby hole thing,
Yeah.
and eventually he does get the right text to meet her at this undisclosed location,
Oh, okay.
and that's when he gets the shit kicked out of him again. The reason why he wanted to meet her because he thought Derek thought that Audrey had like a cure.
Yeah.
Which obviously doesn't exist, and he was just kind of there out of rage. So I was like, well, I'll kill you. He wanted to get his shit pushed in, even like stabbed in the heart with a giant piece of wood just to show him that like he can't die, and neither can she. So just don't worry about it.
Yeah.
But this is a little bit of a gripe is that the movie kind of wraps up really quickly after this.
Really
Like
quick.
it's just
Oh, yeah.
over.
Oh, yeah.
Because the Audrey just basically tells him like, yeah, it is what it is. You know, even though you don't want to kill, you kind of have to. It's kind of up to you what to do with it. Almost like telling Spider-Man like, great power comes great responsibility. Like it just like it doesn't make any sense because he basically turns into a superhero of sorts
Yeah.
Yeah.
in the next scene because the movie wraps up with him kidnapping a gentleman, and we're like, okay, he's obviously going to be his victim, his meal. And he has the guy's phone, which I guess has some explicit material in it of him just like doing something to a little girl, a pedophile,
Yeah.
and he just fucking murders him. So and that's how the movie ends.
See, I like to see the sequel of him just like fucking up pedophiles and fucking murderers and shit.
Well, see, that's the thing. Like the tone doesn't match the rest of the movie.
Yeah.
Like it goes from like a holiday movie, then it flips to a horror movie, and then it's almost like a revenge movie for like a split second. Then it turns into like him being a good guy because that's all he has. It's just really weird
Yeah.
because it was
I want to
very
go back.
quick.
I want to go back to whenever she was talking to him, and telling him, you can't die, or if you think I had a cure, do you think I would still be this way? And she's telling him like you have to, like even though you don't want to kill, like you have to eat every like. She tells
5
him like
days,
4 or 5 days, or you'll turn into something worse. You know,
which is
you might catch that. Like I just wonder what that next like. If obviously
it's
that's
probably
what
that
he's
little
doing.
feral thing that he kind of slipped
Yeah.
into because he did mention that he hadn't eaten in like 10 days.
Right, but I just wonder if it would get worse than that. Like,
Oh,
No,
you know
because
what I'm saying?
I mean, I don't know. Depends. Well, with that feral state, they're going to find food pretty quickly.
well, I guess he kind of took her advice
Yeah.
and just like kind of did like a greater good sentiment. But if anybody, that's the end of Derek's story. That's how the movie ends, cuts the credits.
Yeah,
But there's a couple stingers in there at the end. Anybody catch those?
I did not.
Cliff is still alive. Dun dun dun.
Uh, yeah, that was it. End of discussion. Yeah, I'll send a picture into our little chat of like the notes where I just gave up because it didn't make any sense, like of how abrupt it is.
So
I'll
was there
send it.
really a stinger at the end, or are you just saying that?
It was no, there was. It was
Okay,
at the end of
okay.
the credits. It was just like 30 seconds in. Like I was doing something else for a second, and then I realized like more movie was playing, so it kind of like snuck in there.
Yeah, I immediately. I mean, not. Yeah, I didn't. I just turned it off. Just I didn't even think about.
Yeah, like I even wrote it as like a little almost postscript in my notes. I just like it just came out of nowhere.
Yeah,
But what would y'all give these? How many pretty goods? How many out of 5?
I'd give it 3.5. No, I'll give it 4. Fuck it. It was a
Yeah,
good movie.
yeah, I
was-
gave it
was
4 too.
I'm gonna give it 3.5.
3.5. That's like what 7? Okay, 3.5. 3.5 is good. Certainly not like an 8 out of 10.
8 out of 10.
So,
So yeah,
pretty,
I like that. I enjoyed it.
pretty. That's it.
Pretty good.
Yeah, I recommend this for sure. It's on
Oh, yeah.
Amazon Prime free. It's a good little movie. It's like an hour and a half long. Doesn't feel like it. It's very entertaining.
And it's sad
Um,
that they haven't made anything yet. Like again, like it's like give these guys more money for what they did. They did a pretty damn good job for what the money they had and everything.
I like I mentioned earlier, they did much better than the best they could do with what they had.
Yeah.
It was very well thought out, very well shot, just very well done. There's only a couple of issues that stick out. There's like the movie has like really big pacing issues. Like as I again mentioned earlier, first half is much more heavy than the second half. The movie wraps up pretty quickly, so you don't really have a lot of time in the vampire part in the grand scheme of things. And I think marketing might have hurt it a little bit. The poster and everything that I've seen when I looked up this movie definitely leaned toward a horror movie. I think it'd be more effective if it wasn't marketed as such. Like they could have called it like the end of the world tour or whatever their like little excursion was, you know.
Oh yeah, just named it after their vlog. Yeah.
Yeah, and like the cover would have just been like them on like a sunny beach, just like all smiling with sunglasses and stuff, and you would have never known.
Yeah, because if you look at it, like I'm looking at the cover now, and it's just his shotgun wound on his head, which you don't. I mean, just if you until you've seen it, you don't know what that is, but it looks like maybe some kind of virus or
yeah, it made me think it was a zombie movie.
yeah. But yeah, definitely worth a watch. I really enjoyed it. I agree with you. The pacing was
Weird.
kind of messed up. I didn't really care
Yeah.
for the characters weren't. I didn't really care for the characters a lot, but
Yeah, like we mentioned way earlier, before the cast, like the acting was really bad sometimes.
Right.
Definitely stuck out like a sore thumb. Most of it happened in the beginning. I think the worst offender was Derek's quote unquote brother. Like all of his Skype calls are super flat. He was definitely looking at a script above the camera. I was just like, all right, nobody talks like this.
No one talks like a robot on purpose.
Yeah, like he's supposed to be worried about him because it is kind of a gradual thing of him getting sicker, and like his little ploy or like his little speech to get him to not go on the trip because of his mom and dad being worried. Just I didn't buy it for a second. That was bad. That was so bad. It almost was like all of his Skype parts were recorded all in one shot.
Yeah, I mean the acting where he's like, "Where you at, Audrey?" Like that. I was like, I thought that was kind of bad.
Derek's performance did kind of flow in and out of good to bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like
I mean, okay.
Oh, go ahead. No, I was gonna say like that little bridge between like holiday movie into horror movie was a little awkward because of it.
Yeah.
You know, like reactions to some things seemed out of place, but they weren't enough to like throw me out completely.
Yeah, like the bad, like the flaws didn't like overshadow the stuff that was good. Like it didn't really.
I wouldn't even call them flaws. It's just, like minor things that could have been buffed out but weren't. Don't really take away from the movie. It's fine. Those are just nitpicks.
Yeah.
At that.
So yeah.
I absolutely recommend it. Thank you, Billy, for providing a good movie for the week.
Yes.
You're welcome.
We've been on a pretty dry stretch. I felt like we're on a little bit like the Salt Flats or something, just
Like,
racing across nothing.
TerraVision, the world, America's Deadliest Home Videos, and then we had New Year's Eve. What was before
New Year's Evil just pissed me off. That was different.
what was before TerraVision? It was Chopping Mall, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Chopping Mall's good.
Okay.
Yeah, I enjoy Chopping Mall.
It was a quick little movie.
So did y'all see anything good? Like any trailers, any movie info that you guys want to spill?
Carrie and I did see the Child's Play trailer, the remake.
So I didn't see anything really great.
I didn't even know it was out yet.
Yeah, it's a remake, but with a little twist on it. But it looks like it's just gonna be the same movie.
Yeah.
It even has some shots that are from the original movie.
Do filmmakers know? Okay, let's back up a little bit. We know that remakes are just really giant repackaged versions of the original source material. So it's basically remakes are more of a corporate decision than an artistic division or a decision.
Right.
I wonder if like when they're making this, that when they insert these, I'm doing quote fingers, homages, like
Yeah.
did they know that they're full of shit?
Yeah.
Like it's like some of the most of the shit, like people's eyes roll so hard in the theater. Like we get it. Like we're here because we know what it is. So we came here because of the title. We're here because your marketing was right. We get it.
Yeah, I just don't know how. I don't know. They didn't really show. They didn't show Chucky a lot in it. You didn't get to hear his new voice or anything. So
that could be good or bad. They
might
try
not
to
even
keep
have
it
a
away.
voice.
Like
They'll
at
have
this
a
point,
voice.
yeah, for sure. It was like we know what it's going to be about. Like so maybe they were trying to show kind of like the universe. Maybe that's different.
I saw the What We Do in the Shadows FX trailer.
Oh yeah, for the new show, I saw it too. You linked it to me.
Oh, that's right. Look good.
It looked kind of like someone trying to redo the movie just as a TV show. And
it's got the same humor. It's like, those people in the basement half drunk. How'd they get there? No, they're half drunk.
Oh yeah. I don't know if I'm ready to like accept new characters. I thought it was going to be about the dudes from the movie.
No, it's about
Which
the American, version of like, it's like in the same universe, I guess.
No, I get it, but like I wanted to see more of like Vlad the Poker and what was that dude's name? Like
There's
more of Nick.
Vlad. There's Vigo. No,
Yeah.
There's is it? Yeah, Vigo.
I think so. He's like
Vlad.
have some skitty. But anyways, like I don't think I'm ready for like all new stuff. I feel like it's almost trying to be what the movie was, or the movie was just on damn near flawless. It just felt so.
Vladislav. Yeah, it was Vlad. Then it was Viego, and then Deacon.
Oh yeah, Deacon.
And then Nick, and then there was
Nick.
Peter.
How is your biscotti?
Do you like some biscotti? You still need You've got to watch this movie, Gary.
That was.
You be getting his preferences.
I'll definitely check it out.
Oh, dude, it's so funny.
But I also saw the new Pet Cemetery trailer also.
No.
It looks
He just sighs.
it looks good, but it's a remake, so it's gonna have what the first movie had.
Well, that's like we were saying before the cast. I was just like, I am just not excited anymore for any of this stuff.
Yeah,
There's
it's
no
just
point
like,
to be.
I remember seeing this before. I mean, it's like I said. There's obviously some differences that I noticed. Like there's no little boy in this one. I think the Zelda character is a younger girl.
Yeah.
But it still looked freaky. And of course it had, it's got the Achilles heel being cut open scene. I think they pretty much ruined the movie with all they showed a lot in this trailer, but yeah, I'm just not excited.
Yeah,
I mean, it's,
like I said earlier with Child's Play, like these homages just make you just want to go like, ugh, I get it.
You couldn't think of an original idea. The only thing like Stephen King is I'm excited for It Chapter 2, and then
It's
Yeah. Well, that's because the original, the made-for-TV one, which the second half of that special was the worst part of that entire.
yeah, it was.
yeah, it
The
totally
adult,
shit
the
the bed.
adult section was just, man, that acting in that was fucking horrible.
And the characters that they had him play older, I was like, you could have just had Seth Green play older Seth Green. Because he looks the same. But the Shining sequel, Dr. Sleep.
I haven't seen the show.
Oh. No, hang on. It's a sequel to the book that
Yeah.
they're just making into a movie?
No, it's it was a sequel. Stephen King wrote a sequel to the Shining book, was called Dr. Sleep, and now they're turning that into a movie.
So, canonically, what would that follow? Would that follow Stephen King's direction of The Shining, or would it be like a sequel to,
Stanley
like,
Kubrick.
to the Kubrick one?
Probably
Please
probably
let
the
them.
book.
Please let them try to pass it off as like a sequel to the Kubrick movie. They tried it with 2010, and everybody's just like, "What?"
But Ewan McGregor's playing older Danny Torrance.
That's fine.
And the guy who directed and wrote it is the guy that did House on Haunting Hill, Hush. He did Oculus. He did Ouija, Origin of Evil, which I've heard.
None of these are good.
Huh?
None of these sound good.
But that's what I want. I want to know: is it a direct sequel to?
It's not Kubrick's. It's the actual book.
Well, then I know, but I'm just saying, like, it's a movie, so it's gonna. Is it just gonna be forget that The Shining happened? What's it connect to?
No, I mean it's gonna
What's it
like
connect
say
to movie
it's
wise?
gonna say it happened, but it's gonna be like the way it happened in the book. So they're gonna say pretend it happened in real life. I'm guessing they're gonna show some flashbacks, maybe.
Yeah. Oh, that's fucking.
I mean, I don't
Yeah,
know.
that's what
I'm just
saying.
assuming.
Do I get
No,
do I get Steven Weber or do I get
see-
Jack Nicholson?
See, I made the question way more convoluted than I should have. So it's a movie based on a written work, and that written work is a sequel to, the original Shining. So I was just saying, as a movie, is it just a movie based on that sequel, and all the reference material will be towards the Shining written book, or would they try to pull some horse shit and try to connect it to the Kubrick movie, which
They're
is
gonna
It's gonna be the Stephen
they
King
are.
book.
They're
Stephen
they'll have-
King hates Kubrick's book. And I think Stephen King had a little part
book.
in the Shining sequel. I think he helped in some way.
No, I mean, I've seen interviews with him over the years. He's definitely grown to like the movie, but my argument's always been that he didn't like it because movies do not give you room for a lot of exposition or world building as much as books would.
Yeah.
So there's the whole beginning of the Shining book is kind of condensed in 10 minutes or so, and he never liked that Jack was crazy to begin with.
Mike Flanagan's got doing it. Hush was a Netflix movie. Hush was really good. It's about that deaf woman, and that guy comes to her house. Have y'all seen it? It's really good.
No.
He also did that show that everybody loved on Netflix, The House, Haunting on Hill House.
I've seen a lot of press for that.
He did that. He did Ouija, Origin of Evil, which I heard that was the best one. I've heard
that was the better one.
Yeah. Hush is really good review. It's got a 92, and then Oculus was good. I thought Oculus was really good. It's about that mirror.
Yeah, I liked it.
Yeah. Origin of Evil's got an 82.
I mean, I'll have to see. I've been burned before. I mean, the same guy who did Drive did Only God Forgives, so...
Oh, God, yeah, that was a piece of shit.
That was a turd on wheels.
The only thing it had going for it was, the music and just the look of the movie.
Yeah,
everything else was shit.
He wanted, an aesthetic trilogy, and kind of shot the bed, and it's not going to happen.
He did The Neon Demon, which was pretty much the same outcome.
That was a movie that happened.
Like I said, beautiful to look at, but the plot and just everything else,
style over substance.
Yeah. See, and he said he only started making movies is because he wanted to make a movie so he could pay off some debts.
That's the best kind of situation.
Yeah, and I tell you, his visual flair and the music he gets for his movies are awesome. The only thing that if he would do better with a script, and to write a movie, if he knew how to write a movie, then he would be great. The reason why Drive was really good is because he didn't write Drive, he just directed it. That's why it was really good.
So was Drive not his movie?
He directed it, but the guy who wrote it...
Well, that's what I'm saying. The writer and director are different. That wasn't his, decision, Drive? Somebody else wrote it?
Yeah, someone else wrote it, yeah. So that's why it was good. That's why I had a plot and everything. But his other movies, the premise, has potential, but the execution with the plot and just everything, no.
That does make a lot of sense, because Only God Forgives is a dumpster fire of a plot and way too much awkward symbolism that leads to nowhere, and then it just fucking has a stroke towards the end, and then the credits roll. And that's our review of Only God Forgives.
Do you know Drive is based off a book? I did not know that. I don't know if it might be the same name as the book.
Drive also has the word of mouth kind of thing. It had the benefit of just coming out of the woodworks. So I really didn't know what to expect when I watched it the first time. So
did you see it in theater?
No, I didn't.
I saw it in theater. Didn't know what to expect. Saw it with Mary. I did not know what to expect.
I thought it was great. I still have Night's Call, the song, on my phone.
Oh, I
did too. To it all the time. It's great.
Because I don't know why we picked it or whatever, but I was like, man, I thought this could be a Fast and Furious movie. I was like, because I had not seen no trailers for it. I think, like, I don't think at all. I was like, I don't know about this. And then I was very, very pleasantly surprised. It was a real good movie.
And see, well, that's also detrimental to the sequel or like spiritual successors. Like you have such a great movie, and then there's like a second chapter in whatever form, and it's a disappointment. Like you cannot do that.
Yeah.
Just like this movie that will try to pull some strings and try to like throw in some Shining references. Oh my God! Look, $15 says they're gonna have a room with that fucking carpet in it.
I guarantee it.
Of course.
Or like he lives in an
It's his
apartment.
shirt.
It's the same number.
It's his shirt. Yeah, like the movie ends up just being like how what's that TV show Saint Elsewhere? It was actually like just the imagination of like this autistic kid, and he was holding up a snow globe. That was the hospital.
Trying to pull like a Rosebud moment.
Yeah.
I don't know. Not interested in that at all.
I was just to say, just a point I wanted to make with the Child's Play thing before we moved on is that that movie has an opportunity to be much smarter than just like a remake. I told this to Carrie like earlier, and that they could be really meta about this. Like it could be a legitimate sequel. Like the movie is a remake of the original, and it could be about them reissuing the doll. So like not only are they reissuing the doll in the movie, but we're getting like a reissue of Child's Play in real life. But there's no way it could be that fucking deep because no one's near that smart making that movie.
No.
Because like the doll looks the same. I don't understand. Like who's gonna buy a doll looking like that in 28 or 19?
Well, I guess it's supposed to be like a smart device. Like
whatever. I can just go buy one of those robots that dance from Walmart.
Yeah, yeah, like I said, it's going to be the same. The characters' names are the same.
don't be so enthusiastic about it.
I'm pretty sure Aubrey Plaza.
Yeah, she plays the mom.
Which is weird.
And I'm pretty sure the trailer gave the ending away, but I'm not for sure.
I just found that odd casting.
She's very specific of an actor. I haven't seen her in any kind of like normal roles. She's always kind of like dark and brooding.
Yeah, she always wants to like. She's always playing that. I'm so weird and awkward.
You must owe somebody a favor.
What is it?
That she must owe somebody a favor.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, all that and her popularity has kind of sunk over the past couple of years since Parks and Rec is no longer thing. And she's done a handful of movie roles with my personal acclaim, like it's like she has ups and downs,
I think the only movies that I've seen her, can't remember. I don't know if she played the same character like she does in almost everything else. I know she didn't play the same character in Life After Beth, which was like a zombie comedy. And then,
a zomcom.
Yeah, and then I think she was in that movie Safety Not Guaranteed.
I remember her from like this movie called The List, and fuck, and this is some Zac Efron / that dude from Workaholics movie, Find a Date or something.
Oh yeah, I never seen him. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. And she's trying to play like some like kind of like wacky women, I guess. I don't know. And it's just weird because like we all know her from like just like brooding look through her eyebrows, just kind of like she's probably gonna kill somebody, kind of.
Yeah.
Like dark comedy kind of stuff. So who knows? She might knock it out of the park.
We'll see.
Not me, because I'm tired of giving remakes any money.
Yeah, I mean, I'm probably not.
We'll see when it comes out on Amazon Prime.
Yeah, we can review it.
See, that's why I go out of the way to put those little years in parentheses, so I can, just to differentiate everything from the get-go.
Yep, that's
like
it.
how
That's
there's
the only
3 goddamn Halloweens.
So,
Really?
did you see Halloween yet, Eric?
No, we have a copy in the house now, though. So I was telling Kurt
So
earlier.
yeah, after you see it, I have to rewatch it, and we'll do a review on it sometime in the next
Totally
future.
cool. March is probably going to be pretty awkward, so we'll see.
Yeah.
That's all I can think of horror wise. Oh yeah. Before we go, I been reading the Immortal Hulk, not the wrestler, the Marvel character,
Oh,
and
you got me.
his run, the run that's been going now is like really like a lot of body horror, like a lot of some of it seems like it's influenced by the Thing, like some I don't know, it's weird, it's really good. Like right now, the Hulk is in hell, and he's like about to fight the devil, like impersonating his dad or something. Yeah, dude, it's crazy. Like
I
there's
just make
this,
this shit up.
yeah,
Yeah.
but the body horrorness is crazy. Like I didn't know Marvel would do this type of shit.
Well, I feel like well, I mean, nowadays, like these comics have been going for who knows how long, so they just kind of like let writers have their own like little story arcs, just to keep it fresh. Some stick, some don't.
And then it'll go back to the did it, same shit.
Yeah,
Different. Yeah,
like
kind of realize like what's gonna like it's gotta.
like how Marvel was like one day is like, it'd be kind of different. They're like, what? Captain America's a Nazi.
Yeah,
What? That's crazy. That's totally not a terrible idea or nothing.
where it's like I know how they made Thor. They made the new Thor into a girl.
Oh yeah, they did that with Iron Man too.
Yeah, they
Or
got
as
Iron
well.
Man.
Not
Ironheart.
Iron Man 2 the movie, but yeah.
Ironheart, I think is its name.
All right. If you guys have nothing else, I guess we'll wrap this one up. Um, I'm not for sure if everybody heard this or not in the last episode because I'm getting conflicting results from how I listened to that episode. But we do have a new store. We're going with T Public now. They have better prices and they had a lot more merchandise to offer. The T-shirts are only $20 on there as opposed to the almost 27 on the old store. So the link will be in the description. It's on the website. The shop button on Facebook is will take you right to the new store. So yeah, go on there, get you a T-shirt. They've got some stickers on there, phone cases. So go check that out.
Give us money.
Yes,
We
just
like money.
yeah. And then the announcement was made that we have started a podcasting network with the guys over at the Poet Grim podcast. And if you've been to the 1313inc.wordpress.com website, you probably noticed that it is updated with information for both of the podcasts on there. So we just think it'd be cool to it's a way to like help each other out. We can hopefully bring in some other podcasts that are starting out, and we can all promote each other and help each other out. So, and the last thing I'll mention is the Indiegogo campaign for Ed and the Living Dead is still going on. You got 52 days left. They are at 3%. They've so far raised $876.
Nice.
Anywhere from $5 all the way up to $1,000 is what you can donate. Each level of monetary value has either get DVDs or posters or so I think some stuff from the film. So yeah, and of course the links will be in the description for that also. And where can they find you guys at?
They can find me at Basalt Wizard.
And that's on Twitter.
Yes.
My Twitter is at Eric Voltage.
And you can get me at 1313 Inc. on Twitter. And of course, the podcast is on Facebook and Instagram. And what's the other one? I don't remember the other one now. And also, I think I'm going to start. I think I downloaded the Snapchat. May start doing some Snapchat. I don't know what I'm going to do in there yet, just because I don't know how to use Snapchat.
I can Snapchat me taking a huge shit. Like, hey.
There you go. That'll be on there for next week. Yeah.
Hey, listen to our podcast. I'm taking a shit.
Hate that.
Yeah. So Yeah, so we'll go ahead and wrap this one up. Thanks for listening.
Really appreciate it.
Again, like the show, give us a rating on iTunes, on the Google Play, give us likes and comment. It really helps us out if you do that. This podcast is part of the 1313 Inc. network.